Extensive stenciling done in an Italian Renaissance-style motif decorates the walls and ceilings of the Minnesota State Capitol. Incorporated in the designs are themes that depict the state.
There's North Stars, there's lady slippers, there's things that tell you that this is Minnesota State Capitol. So when you walk into this beautiful building, it's our Capitol, rather than something you would see in Italy. It's a Minnesota State Capitol.
Capitol architect Cass Gilbert signed off on the Italian Renaissance designs with a Minnesotan flair that Elmer Garnsey, the chief decorator of the Capitol, designed.
He would get these classical designs and elements, decorative motifs that would be appropriate for that style of architecture, and then run those by Cass Gilbert, and then Cass Gilbert would say, that looks good, let's tweak it this way, make this change here, and then that information would be given to the artist to actually paint the stencils throughout the building.
Like many things at the Capitol, which opened in 1905, the stenciling work had fallen into disrepair.
We could see that there was some damage. We could see some paint blisters. Once we cut into it, it was this whole panel was just riddled with efflorescence and had broken down. All the plaster had broken down to where it was just like cottage cheese.
Brian Pease, the Capitol Historic Site Manager, says not only was the stenciling work in bad shape, some of the original design was significantly altered from what Elmer Garnsey and Cass Gilbert intended.
Over the last 110 years, different campaigns were done within the building to repaint the stencil. A lot of that wasn't quite accurate or migrated off where the original pattern was. Different designs were added.
As part of the more than $300 million Capitol restoration project, the stenciled artwork is getting some much-needed attention. J.E. Dunn, the construction company leading the restoration, contracted Conrad Schmidt Studios in New Berlin, Wisconsin, to make repairs.
It's overwhelming at times, but you stay focused, due diligence, good notes, and stick with what we've done for 100 years.
Some stenciling in the Capitol required a complete redo, like the continuing pattern behind the statuary in the House chamber. Jeremy Lund, a foreman and artist at Conrad Schmidt Studios, says 23-karat gold leaf was used to re-stencil the area.
We completely redid that one because there was some failing plaster areas.
Other stenciling artwork in good shape is being left as is.
We wanted to keep the historic value of it.
Artists have overcome many challenges to recreate the stenciling. For example, they've utilized alternative types of paints in cases where the products used more than 110 years ago are no longer viable.
A lot of them aren't made. Certain EPA issues, certain health issues that came after those products were used, they just discontinued them. So it is a little tricky. You got to do your homework.
The Capitol is a busy construction zone, so artists have to carefully work around other tradespeople.
If someone leads it, just a simple hand leading up against something that we're working on, the oils extracted from the hand can get into the paint, and it might cause a problem down the line when we do our finish coats or top coats, stuff like that.
Despite the challenges, delivering the highest level of craftsmanship remains paramount.
If you walk in there and our work isn't up to the caliber that it should be, you'll notice it right away. You won't see a leaking pipe behind a wall, but you'll notice bad quality artwork.
Stenciling in the House chamber, which is expected to open for the 2016 session, is complete. Work in other parts of the Capitol is expected to continue into 2017.